everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're going to be doing what I'm pretty sure is going to be a short and sweet update for the Pan in Every palette project pan. I'm pretty sure that this is a Pantastic Ladies creation. If I'm wrong, please make sure to let me know. I always want to be giving credit where credit is due. But I've been seeing it for years and years and I'm pretty sure it's Pantastic Ladies. I've wanted to join it for years and years, but I always just have so many projects going on that it never felt like the right time until this year. I was inspired by Caroline the Panner and Makeup with Laney and the way that they are working on their Pan Those Eyeshadows project. Laney put together a spreadsheet of 100 prompts that she would then use to choose the eyeshadows that she was working on. I thought that was so smart, and so I went ahead and applied that to Pan in Every palette. I want to make sure that I'm not only working on my eyeshadows, but my face palettes as well, because those have been severely neglected in my collection. And this seemed like just the perfect marriage of all of those areas for me to work on. So I have 4 pans that I'm currently working on that I selected in the intro of this project. So let's go ahead and talk about where I am with them. So the first thing that I have right here is for the prompt orange. This is a trio from Sonia Kashuk back when they did makeup. I don't think they do anymore. But for the prompt orange, I chose this incredibly beautiful, beautiful orange blush. And you can see there is no dip going on. It hardly even looks used. I have used it. I've used it 10 times since pulling it into this project, which honestly is not that many because I started this project back in January. I forgot how pigmented this blush is. This is pigmented. Like, I barely touch my brush into it and it just picks up so much that I have to be very careful. So aside from the fact that it's a blush and those take me eons anyway, with this type of pigmentation, I have to go really light-handed with it. What I'm also realizing is that at the moment, this color doesn't complement the looks that I'm creating because the palettes that are in my eyeshadow projects are very sort of pinky purpley leaning, and so a bright orange blush doesn't really go with those looks. So that's not going to be the case forever, and I am looking forward to incorporating this more and more. But for the moment, we have 10 uses and no dip. This could easily be in this project for the entirety of the year because it is just an endeavor. An endeavor. The next prompt that I pulled was for the prompt discontinued, and for that I chose this palette right here. This is from ColourPop. This is the Through My Eyes palette that they did in collaboration with I Love Sarahi. And the shade from this palette that I chose is this right here called Sandalwood. I chose this color specifically because I thought that it would be very helpful for me in my Level Up project pan, because my level 1 palette was the Beautiful in Barcelona palette, which all of their mattes were mid-tone and deeper. And so this was honestly so helpful in blending those shades out. I've used it 12 times since pulling it into this project, and for ColourPop, that's not nearly enough. As you saw, there was no dip. The pan does look nice and roughed up, which I absolutely appreciate, but this has easily another 30, maybe even 45 uses left in it before I get to pan. Also, I use a fluffier brush, and so that means that it's hitting more of the surface of the pan. It's not drilling down like a more precise brush would. So it's going to be a minute. I'm also finding that now that that palette is no longer in my Level Up project, that I've kind of stalled on this a little bit. This shade, while it looks in the pan, it looks so neutral. Like, it looks so neutral. But on my skin, at least, it actually pulls really warmly. It's pretty, please don't take me wrong, it's very pretty, but I'm running into sort of the same hang up with this shade as I am with the Sonia Kashuk blush, in that the palettes that I'm currently working on have a pinky purple lean to it, and this just doesn't sit right with it. So I'm working on a way to try to bring it in a little bit more consistently, but that's definitely why I've stalled on it. It's a beautiful palette. I've been enjoying using it. I've been working on some of the other shades as well because I want to make sure that I'm always doing no pan left behind style in any eyeshadow palette that I'm working on. So I'm still working on that. I haven't put a high priority on it just since I'm working so slowly on that one shade, but I am happy to continue working on it, and I do have some ideas for some fun looks with it. The next prompt that I pulled was glowy, and so for that I pulled in another face palette. This is from ABH. This is the Sugar Glow Kit. I purchased this ages ago, like 2017 maybe. It's beautiful. It has not gotten nearly enough use or love. So for glowy, I pulled in this highlighter right here. I hope you can see there is a dip going on in here. This is the shade Starburst, by the way, if I didn't mention. I have used it 44 times since pulling it into this project. I still think I've got a little bit of a ways to go to hit pan. I've never hit pan in an ABH highlighter before, but from what I've seen other people's panning journeys, it looks like they are fairly shallow pans. But with that being said, I still have a little bit of ways to go. I am wearing it today. I don't do super intense highlight anymore. I really try to buff it out and give it that really sort of lit from within sort of look, which this does a lovely job of, but it means that I'm not picking up a ton of it on my brush and I'm really working it into the skin. So definitely going to be hanging around with us for a little bit longer, and I'm not mad about it because it's an absolutely beautiful highlighter. I really have been enjoying it a ton. And then the last one is for the prompt purple. And so for that, I brought in a very purple palette. This is from Natasha Denona. This is the Lila palette, or Lila. Everyone seems to say it a little bit different. And the shade that I am working on is the shade Amethyst, which is this shade right here. I got a little bit of a dip going in here. It's a fairly crumbly shade. I'm not sure if that has always been the case. This is an old palette, guys. This one I'm pretty sure I got for Christmas in 2016 or 17. I cannot recall now, but definitely an older palette. So I don't know if it's always been on the crumblier side or if it's just because it's older. But I am finding that I need to pick up more than I thought that I would. So I'm enjoying using it. I know that these pans are probably pretty deep. So I'm glad that I'm working on this, but it's going to be in here for a little while longer because I've only used it 5 times since pulling it into this project. One thing that I have been doing with it that I've done twice now, I think, is I've been using it as liner, and it's gorgeous for that, especially in conjunction with my level 2 palette, which is the What's Up Beauty Geodes palette, which is so pretty. I'm having so much fun with it. But especially with those shades and then using this as a liner, absolutely gorgeous. So I really am having a lot of fun with this project. But as I mentioned in the intro, it's gonna be a longer haul project, which honestly is why I didn't have an update in February. There just wasn't going to be enough to update. So I think, at least for the minute, we're gonna go to an every other month update schedule. I was on the fence in the intro, but I don't want to bore you guys and come on here with nothing to say for myself and for this project. So I feel like every other month will allow me to at least, even if I'm not pulling something out, at least give you guys something to see as far as progress. So that is kind of where I'm at. Let me know, is this the kind of format that you guys like, every other month, or do you want to see the nitty gritty of every month? Because I'm not going to lie, sometimes that really gives me the kick in the pants that I need to use things a little bit more often. I know, there's this thing, when you come up towards the deadline, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to be filming this update and this update and this update. I need to make sure that I use it all week. So there is definitely that mentality. So let me know what your thoughts are. I love chatting with you guys. If nothing else, just say hello down in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up and certainly consider subscribing before you leave. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.